Hello, my name is Brad Norman. I work for the Bossier Sheriff's Department. Been with them approximately 6 years. And through my 6-year career, I've seen several different advances in technology, even in that short period of time. I want to talk a little bit today about some of the misconceptions that television has created for us. Everyone seems to at least know of CSI and what CSI is, the crime scene investigation television program. It's spawned a few different series, and it's been a huge hit. It's also been a hindrance to some people who actually work in law enforcement and deal with crime scene investigations and what to do when processing crime. In an article written by Donald E. Shelton, it's called "The CSI Effect Doesn't Really Exist," he stated that 30 million viewers watch CSI in one single night. That's an amazing number considering the effect that those people have on a real criminal case, because of those 30 million people, at least a portion of them are going to be undoubtedly selected to be on a jury. And the problem that it causes for us is if we don't have the technology that CSI presents and says that we should have, a juror is going to say, well, why don't you do it like they do it on television? That technology doesn't exist. 98% of the things you see on TV, just from my personal experience, are just that. It's fantasy. There is no system you can type someone's name in and cross-reference if they have their light bill with the kind of car they drive and who they talk to last on their cell phone. It's just not out there. However, there have been some great advances in technology over the years. And like I say, even in my period of time I've worked there, I've seen 2 different AFIS machines. AFIS is the Automated Fingerprint Identification System. I work with it on a daily basis. It has taken the place of ink rolling fingerprints. Ink rolling fingerprints date back to the year 623. The Chinese were the first people to figure out that fingerprints were individual to each person. And it went away for a couple hundred years and it was picked back up by the English. And that's what developed into what we use today for fingerprint identification. No 2 people have the same identical fingerprints. Even identical twins have differences in their fingerprint ridge patterns. The number of points that are identifiable in a fingerprint are called minutiae. When the AFIS machine is used, it's a computer system. It's got glass plates on it, and the hand is placed on the glass. I've got some visual aids I gave, some handouts. It shows what an AFIS machine or what a printout would look like. On the screen of the computer, you'll see there's each hand is pressed flat down with the thumbprints next to it, and then above it is each individual finger as it's rolled. Now, the first thing you do is you put the hand down. It's called the slaps, and as you roll each finger, it's going to compare the rolled print to the slaps to make sure it's an actual match. The points that are identifiable in those fingerprints, I can identify over 200 points in one fingerprint that's unique to that individual. To put that into perspective as to how many points a prosecutor or a jury may require to convict an individual, according to Dr. John Thornton, this is a transcript of a presentation that he had done. The British use a 16-point system. They just require 16 individual points in a fingerprint of a crime scene to match a known specimen of an individual. That tells you how accurate and how far along technology has come with an AFIS machine, because it is identifiable I've seen over 250 points in one single fingerprint. And when I know that our DA will typically look for 8 to 10 points for a conviction to say that's a positive identification. So if you can pull 8 points out of a 200-point fingerprint, that the technology is amazing compared to where it was when we were using ink to roll people's prints, because the ink would smudge and it would be too dark or too light. Keep in mind that on a crime scene, you're not going to see the same fingerprints that you're going to see on a computer screen. Most of the time, people there they're sweaty, they're dirty, it's blood, there's mud everywhere, whatever it may be. You're going to get partial prints. But the key to helping solve crimes as we continue to progress in our search to try to have better technology is to continue to develop better ways to find fingerprints. I gave a little bit of background on the fingerprint. There's another handout there that shows the different types of fingerprints. There are 3 main types. It's called arches, loops, and whorls. 2 different types of loops. This is an article that was written by Stephanie Watson called How Fingerprinting Works. The rarest type of fingerprint is the arch. Someone who has a predominantly arch style print is going to be much more unique than someone who has whorls. I think whorls are the most commonly found fingerprint. That being said, technology has advanced greatly over the years, and it will continue to do so. I've heard of a person who was convicted off of an ear print, where they were listening through a window trying to figure out, they could hear what was going on inside, and they were able to match. I was in Florida. The DA was able to match their unique prints in their ear to an individual and actually get him convicted of murder. The new thing is retinal scans. That's something that is actually real, that is out there. It's very expensive. Most police departments are not going to have the money. You're not going to see Horatio pull up in a Hummer H2 and get out and flick his glasses down. They don't have that kind of money. So, for now, the APHIS machine and fingerprinting is tried and true. It will continue to be used, I think, now and definitely in the future, as fingerprints are the #1 way to identify an individual. Thank you.